Hey guys, Dara here at Dara E Designs, and thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be working on a card using some Deco foil Metallix gel and a little bit of stenciling as well. What we're going to start with is a piece of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 cardstock. This is in the color Crumb Cake by Stampin' Up, and I'm just adhering that stencil to my cardstock with some purple tape. Now, another quick little tip, if you do not have purple tape, I also like to use washi tape. Just be a little bit more careful with washi tape because it can tear your cardstock if you're not careful. And I'm using some Metallix gel, like I said earlier. This is in the color called Aged Copper. And I'm using a spatula from my Cricut kit. Ironically, I've never used this tool before for anything related to the Cricut, and I meant to purchase a knife for these gels and realized that I did not order it when I got the rest of my supplies. So we had to use what we had on hand, and it's working out pretty well, I would say. So you can see I just used that spatula to scoop out the gel onto the stencil, and then I'm going back with this little scraper tool that I have from Chalk Couture, but I'm sure a gift card or credit card type material would work just as well to get that on in a nice even layer, and then to also scrub off that excess. And you'll see any excess you have you can just put right back into your jar and use it on another project. The stencil I'm using here is called Large Moroccan, and it's by Simon Says Stamp. Now once that is all evened out across our card base, we're going to just very carefully peel that up and away from the card. The stamp set we're using today is by Tailored Expressions called Flip the Floral, and we're going to be using the Birthday Wishes greeting from that set. We're using Whisper White cardstock by Stampin' Up that measures 1 by 2 3/4 inches. And the ink we're using today is Rich Razzleberry. I'm going to stamp that off on our grid sheet before I apply it to the cardstock, just to give it a little bit lighter shade. Once we've done that, I'm going to take a piece of Bermuda Bay cardstock, and it measures 1 1/4 by 3 inches. And adhering that to the Bermuda Bay. While I'm doing this, we're letting our stenciled image dry for about an hour before we assemble it all together. In the meantime, I'm also going to take a piece of cardstock that is 1/2 inch by 4 1/4, and I'm cutting the end off with a punch that is retired now, but you could easily cut it just the little ends off into a banner shape by hand. I'm taking the card base, which is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, and scoring that at 4 1/4 so that we create our card. Fold it on that score line, and just to give it a nice even crease, I like to go back over it with a bone folder. Now that our stenciled piece has had plenty of time to dry, I'm going to adhere that to our Razzleberry card base with a little bit of Tombow adhesive. And I'm going to leave about 1/8 of an inch from the top just to give it a little bit of a border across the top, a little bit of color showing. And once we've done that, I'm taking the banner piece that we punched earlier and adding some pop dots to it just to give it a little bit of dimension. Now once we have that banner piece adhered to the card, we're going to go back and add our Birthday Wishes greeting using a little bit of Connect glue from Gina K Designs. The great thing about this stamp set and the design that I did with this card is that there are many options you can use other than birthday wishes. The design of the stencil is very generic, so it could be used for many occasions, and there are also many options in the stamp set for greetings as well. Now I'm just going to finish this card up by adding a little bit of bling. If you know me very well, you know that I have to have a little bit of bling on just about everything, and this card is no different. So I am adding a little bit of embellishments from the Little Things from Lucy's cards, And these are the clear iridescent mix jewels. And I'm applying that with just a little bit more of that Connect glue from Gina K Designs and a little bit of help from my Quick Stick. Once I added the rest of the bling, I decided I needed to add a little something to the envelope as well. And so I finished that off with some stenciling. And here you can see a little bit of a close-up to see just how shiny and beautiful the bling is. I've also included some close-ups of the finished card just so you can get a little bit better view of all the details. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial, and I'll be back soon with another video. Have a great day, guys. Bye.